cavemen flying fighter jets. That is a sentence that applies to this movie. Cavemen flying fighter jets is a sentence that is applicable when describing this movie. Hello and welcome to the 12th episode of Good, Bad, or Bad Bad, the show where we watch terrible movies and tell you if you should too. I'm your host, Ryan. He is... I was not prepared for that, but I like it.
I was giving it blue steel.
I like it. I like it a lot. On today's episode, we're going to keep it going. We're going to just throughout just every now and then toss that back in. We watched a bit of a... we knew what we were getting into with this one.
This was a usual suspects list.
Yes, this was one of those ones where like, let's do one that... Because I actually have never... Battlefield Earth.
Oh, boy.
The amazing piece of American... cinematic history that is Battlefield Earth.
This is the kind of movie that makes me glad that certain celebrities have certain amount of pull
to get stuff like this made.
Yes,
yes.
Because if this had been some generic indie film, it would not have the same appeal.
No, you wouldn't even know. You've never heard of it. I mean, it might end up being something kind of fun, but yeah, this, whew, because the budget they could throw in, it's fantastic. We watched Battlefield Earth. And now we're going to break down, is Battlefield Earth good bad or bad bad? Let's not spoil it yet, but let's go through it and we'll figure it out. I have my opinions. I want to say, and I'm sure you have your own, I want to make, this is the only, I'd only seen a little bit of this movie before, and the reason I had, and this is a fun story, I remember my parents rented this movie when we were, they had no idea what it was. We like sci-fi stuff. And
that was regret from minute one.
I'm like 12. We're watching this movie. It's the only movie I can recall in my entire life that my parents got up after like 30 minutes and just turned it off and were like, we're not watching this. I cannot remember a singular instance of that happening where my parents were like, this is trash, we're not watching.
Can you imagine them sitting through the end and watching that insanity?
I know, because that's when it even goes more bonkers. I was watching it, I was like, the first 30 minutes, I was like...
It's pretty subtle.
It's not bad, yeah. It's like, it's weird and it's a little generic, but it's not like overtly terrible. And then, oh my God. But even then, they were like, we're not doing this, and turned it off. So that was my only experience with this movie, other than occasionally catching it on TV or something.
I've seen it a few, like once on Sci-Fi for like their April Fool's Day thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta get into this. Year 3000.
245, first Dutch angle shot. Sorry, I jumped ahead. 245. I had to wait and look because I knew that's one thing I knew about this movie. There's about a bajillion Dutch angle shots. First one I think is at 245.
I think the DP might have had like some sort of dwarfism to like be slanted.
You want to know something hilarious? I looked up the director of photography of this movie. Guess what other movie they did that we have recently seen?
Vampires.
Boss, you ain't lived till you got head from a vampire.
Hell or High Water.
What? What?
The DP, cinematographer for this movie is the same guy who was. I knew that was going to be your reaction. I knew it was going to blow your mind. Because it's like, what? I can't even face right now. I didn't think it would be close.
I don't know where am I?
This is the fastest this has ever gone off the rails. I need you to collect yourself, Kyle.
You can't drop a bomb on me like that and expect me not to have this reaction.
I should have warned you ahead of time.
Holy fucking shit. I can't even get out of sentence.
That's it. That's the review. We're done. We watched Battlefield.
Just stop this.
We're done. Why'd you stop it? Kyle, Slightly recovered.
What? What? Oh.
The style of cinematography could not be more different between Hell or High Water, which is a fantastic film, and this, which, like, because this is so frenetic. Every shot is a Dutch angle. Hell or High Water is so restrained and so well handled. It's mind blowing. I mean, this guy really matured, apparently. Here's what I'll say. It gives you hope. If nothing else, you could do something like Battlefield Earth, and then you could be the DP on Hell or High Water. We're not going to be able to do this, Kyle.
Okay. For right now, I'm going to take the past 5 minutes of what just happened.
Delete it from your brain.
And it's gone. What? What?
1,000 years in the future, right?
Yeah.
And Earth is taken over by aliens who are mining it for all the precious minerals.
No, it is not taken over by aliens. It is taken over by a corporation. They explicitly said that their entire civilization is a corporation.
It is, because they always talk about it like the back at home office.
I just want to do whatever serves the corporation best, sir.
I was like, is there like some sort of intergalactic trade federation that they're a part of? And go right for the Star Wars.
Fucking A. We need more trade politics in this movie. There's not enough of that.
We need some goddamn Jedis to negotiate a deal.
Gone up the ventilation shaft.
They've gone up the ventilation shaft.
The first 10 minutes or so is, well, not even that, but the first 10 minutes or so is just we meet the tribe, the guy, our main character, played by Barry Pepper, which that's a name anyway. That's one hell of a name. But Barry Pepper in this movie looks like if Jake Busey fucked a lion and they had offspring. He's our main character, and he decides just randomly
it's because like he's like, oh, I did all this questing to help my father. He's dead.
This is all the medicine I could find.
I'm sorry. The gods took your father in the night.
Yeah, and then he gets back. Oh, that was the first thing that really annoyed me. Was that, so like they're shutting the gate for the evening or whatever, and they're like, oh, she's like, he's not back yet though. Like our main love interest of the main character is like, he's not back yet, and they're like, oh, it's too late, and it's like, he's probably dead.
You must forget about it. He was a wild spirit, and this was always to be his fate.
And then literally, without any drama or anything, he just comes riding his horse down the hill like 2 seconds later, and it's fine.
So it's time to set your sights elsewhere for a hunt.
Just rides his horse down the hill, and she's like, oh, you're back, cool. Oh, your dad died, by the way.
Must be a time where you'd have tension in a film, but whatever.
Yeah, there's no tension. There's no, like, we cut out to him, like, fighting for survival to try to get back at the last. Nope, he just, boop, rides back in, literally right after they shut the gate.
What's up?
He's just like, yeah, I'm back. And then she's like, your dad's dead. And he's like, oh, I'm sad. Okay, and then this was really annoying. So she tells him his dad died, and there's a reaction shot of him, and he's not in the frame. It's framed. I'm like, oh, let me try to do this here. It's like, it reacts, like, they like cut to him and he's like here, and then he goes like, no! And it's just empty frame and like his hand. Like, what the fuck? Again, this guy shot Hell or High Water. That guy. Every time I remind you, it's like a little some mini aneurysm in your brain.
He must go out and quest for the gods because whatever crazy mythology about these gods. And because the village, they're like, oh, we can't leave because there's a dragon that'll eat us. And then he's like, well, fuck that, I'm going out. And then literally walks right into a dragon. Turns out the dragon is a putt-putt course dragon. What?
And it's like, oh, somebody saw the end of fucking Planet of the Apes and was like, ooh, that's clever. It's on Earth. And it's like, I don't know, it's so dumb. And then, so he meets some other people and they start adventuring together. And they're like, they take him into a city, like a ruined city. And there's this great scene where they walk into like a mall.
Oh, yeah.
And he walks right into a piece of plexiglass.
Let's eat.
And I'm like, that was clearly visible. Like, just because you're a caveman doesn't mean you can't see glass or plexiglass. You might not know what it is, but you don't just walk into it. Like, it's so stupid. And then they're just hanging out eating, and then the alien shows up.
Don't you enjoy how much diction and dialect has not changed at all in 1,000 years.
They sound exact. That was the thing in this scene too. I love how they don't remember like anything about previous, because like he doesn't know anything about like what the city is and what the, you know, they don't know anything about the past, but they're still use phrases like the grass is always greener on the other side.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
Like, oh, I'm glad that kind of stuff stuck around, but you don't know anything.
Piece of cake is Carlo's catchphrase.
Piece of cake.
But you don't remember anything about any of the history of the world. But you know, still use the same phrases that people used in 20th century world. It's so fucking strange.
Look at those poor bastards. Now they really angered the gods.
So then, yeah, the alien shows.
They get into this. They get into this, like some sort of.
They're eating
thing,
food,
and they're about ready to be at each other's throats.
Because the guy threatens.
Like,
he's like, "Oh, maybe I'll go fuck your girl."
Woman.
Yeah.
Where we're from, a good woman, hard thing to find. So if you were stupid enough to leave a perfectly good woman behind, why don't you tell me where she is? So I can go get her for myself, huh?
No. And the first thing we see is the main companion dude
gets blasted.
Yeah.
And flies across the room.
I'm like, holy shit.
He's dead.
Yeah.
That whole scene is terrible, because first the laser, I was like, oh, that's what the lasers look like in this.
Fucking dumb.
They're terrible. It's like back when sci-fi was still spelled sci-fi. It's like that level of graphic, computer generated graphics in this movie. It's terrible. But and then
that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm just confused on what they're doing, because they kill the other dude.
They don't kill him. They're all alive.
Not the heavy dude, not the fat dude.
Oh.
No, he doesn't come back. Oh, he doesn't come back with them. Which is why I was like, are they killing them?
I couldn't figure it out initially, because you can't tell. It's just they get shot by a laser and they look like they're dead.
Well, Barry Pepper's running like crazy.
And then his horse gets shot. No, I don't talk about that yet. Don't talk about that yet. His horse gets shot, I think. Right? Because, like, but it doesn't even look like it. His horse rears up and a laser goes past it, and then it falls over, and then, like, later in the movie, it's fine. I was like, what?
So these aliens are going on a shooting gallery.
And then, so they shoot Barry Pepper. And this is when I almost turned off this movie. Because this is a fucking crime against all that is film.
Oh, God.
They shoot Barry Pepper, and what happens?
He flies through like 14 things of plexiglass.
And literally almost the most butchered shot-for-shot redo of the scene from Blade Runner. And I was like, movie, you did not just rip off Blade Runner in the first 13 minutes of your rip off Blade Runner poorly in the first 13 minutes of your movie. That's a good recipe to make me turn your fucking movie off. I could not believe they did that. They're like, oh, you know that cool scene where the girl falls through the glass after Deckard shoots her? Yeah, let's just do that. But it won't be as cool, and it'll be our main character, and it'll be fine. It'll be great. It's great. It's not great. Don't do that. Don't just rip off classic, iconic scenes from films and put them in your shitty space propaganda.
So they're captured and they get taken away in the greatest CGI of the year 2000.
Oh, dude, it's...
This stuff looks fantastic.
Yes. They flying over the city, you mean, when they bring them back into the dome or wherever the fuck they live.
With their incredibly dumb-looking flying machines.
Yeah, so the aliens in this have to breathe... they don't breathe air, so they have to have like a dome.
They do, but like what they breathe like sulfur oxide or
yeah,
it's toxic to humans.
Yeah,
it burns like hell.
Yeah, so the aliens have this enclosure that they all stay in, called like the dome or whatever, and they bring the humans back there basically just to be slaves.
And I love how they have to specifically tell you where these locations are, even though it doesn't fucking
matter. Pops up on screen.
It's like, hey, you're in Denver.
Who cares? It does because then later in the movie they just fly all over the country in like 2 seconds of screen time to the point where it's like you could have said they were anywhere. It wouldn't matter. They were able to go to DC to fucking wherever they want.
This great village was the capital for all of our tribes.
And then there's a great scene where right after they get there and they land, Barry Pepper runs out and immediately runs into a wall again. I'm like, is this dude just gonna run into everything? And it's like he literally in the first 2 scenes he's in, he just turns around and runs into a wall. And,
and then, like this place is like the human processing, I think it's what it's called.
Yeah.
And the first chance they get, they fucking run.
Yeah, and he pulls a gun off one of the keeper guys and he shoots him right in the chest and kills him. And then takes off, and then they get captured and brought back, and John Travolta's character shows up.
Holy shit.
John Travolta in this movie.
Having a fuck ton of money and power and just doing whatever the hell you want, I guess is a good thing.
It's good for him. I can't... You would think he made himself look a little cooler in his own fucking movie that he wants to be in.
Not have the dumbest looking legs on the planet.
Because everybody, I talk about this, I want to talk about this later, but we'll talk about it now. All the bad guys, the aliens are like 8 feet tall or 9 feet tall. But in order to do that, you know how in Lord of the Rings, they accomplish that very well with lots of different tricks of like perspective and CG and this and that and the other, and sometimes
in this film, no.
Platform shoes. They're all just wearing platform shoes. Like 12-inch platform shoes that you can see. They look like fucking members of Kiss fumbling around on stage. And there are scenes where they're walking where they are stumbling so clumsily, and you can tell that it's hard to walk in these big fucking clunky shoes. So they look ridiculous. And that's how they're like, oh look, they're taller. Oh, they carry 12 inches of their height in their feet apparently. It's fucking dumb. So we meet him, and he doesn't believe that Barry killed.
Yeah.
He's like, they're too dumb to shoot things. They
literally just hand another gun to him.
They hand him a gun. Yes, he hands him a gun and goes, he wouldn't shoot. And then the thing that's really confusing is he goes, and then he tells the other guy who's telling him that he shot the guy, he's like, you could try to take the gun from him.
Reach for the gun. Sir, I might get shot.
Sure you might. And I might suddenly grow a third arm.
And he's like, no, shoot me. And he's like, do it. And then he does it, and he gets shot. And I'm like, why did they think that he wouldn't shoot someone until they tried to get the gun?
Because they didn't think that they were smart enough to know how to use a weapon.
I knew that. But then after he shoots that guy, he could have just... Why didn't he start shooting them right away? Why did he wait until that guy walked up to him to shoot him? Why didn't he just shoot all of them? He had a gun and he could use it. I don't know. It was just really confusing to me. They hand him a gun. He just sits there with it until a guy walks towards him. Then he shoots him. It's like, you could... Okay, whatever. Fine, sure.
I'll be damned.
And then one of them says, you're out of your skull bone. And I was like, oh, fucking, that's what we're going to do in this movie. We're going to use fucking slang like that. You're out of your skull bone.
And you are out of your skull bone if you think that I'm going to write on the report, shot by man animal as the cause of death unless I see it.
They get tossed into a holding cell, and apparently there's like tribal mentality within the cells.
Yeah.
That lasts for all of about a minute.
1 minute, because he beats the shit out of that dude for some of that green Nickelodeon goo, and then sticks his face in it, and then they start slurping the goo down together, and he's like, we all eat at the same time. I'm Barry Pepper.
We are one.
It's like, oh, well, we solved all that. It literally took this guy 30 seconds to solve all the strife in this whole prison. He's just like, beats up one guy, and they're all like, we're a family now. It's like, okay.
We have enough problems without killing each other over food. From now on, we eat at the same time.
And I love that. So we find out that John Travolta's character, he's like the security... He's not the head of the thing, but he's the
security officer.
Yeah, chief security officer
for this production.
Yeah, and he's been there for like 5 years, or cycles they call him. I assume that means years.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's time for me to get off, and they're like, oh, guess what? You got to stay for another.
Hang on.
He's like,
we got to set up the scene for a second, because it does something that's that I was like brain melting on, their teleporters are just giant fucking cubes of teleportation.
Yes.
What the?
It's just like you stand in a spot and then it goes.
It's like you stand in a spot and it's not like they just do enough space to teleport you.
No, they teleport.
They
the whole
do
area.
like a fucking house worth of
you
teleportation.
Teleport one person, and it's like the whole fucking building. It's like there was only the one little guy. Why did you have to do that? All right. The one size fits all teleporter.
The amazing like head dude comes down to talk to John Travolta.
The old white guy.
Oh boy.
And the makeup, it's not bad, but it's just so silly. Like there's the guy whose like chin is melting into his chest. I don't know that guy's name.
What's up with that dude's skull? Because it doesn't protrude like everybody else's.
I don't know. So yeah, they show up and they tell him, "Oh, guess what? You're not staying here for another 5 years. You're staying here."
The laughter in this scene is fucking crazy.
I wrote that down so many times. I'm like, why are you laughing like that? Why are you laughing like that?
Oh, you're too much.
It's so great.
Like a 1950s.
Forrest Whitaker with contacts is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's yellow contacts, right? Yeah, and they're super obnoxious. But they laugh and they'll tell a joke, and sometimes not even a joke. They'll just say a thing, and they'll be like,
Obviously, they're sycophants, but
yeah, it's just so over the top and dumb.
It's a joke.
But they tell him he's got to stay there for another 50 cycles.
Which is why we've decided to keep you on for another tour of service.
And he fucking loses his mind. He's like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, wait, why do they not like John Travolta? Because they hadn't explained it yet. They explain it. Because they literally, right after they tell him he's got to stay there another 50 years, they walk out and he's like, oh, that's for fucking the senator's daughter.
Please, tell the senator that if I had even an inkling that was his daughter...
Watch your tongue.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
I was like, wait, what? Because that's a weird thing to throw in there. Is like, that's the reason that they don't like him, is that the senator, he fucked the senator's daughter, and the senator's like, you gotta stay on Earth forever.
But cheer up. There's one bright side to this. One day, you're going to die. And when you end up in hell, at least it'll be a step up from this place.
Also, these Christian aliens are apparently, I don't know if they're Christian aliens, but they believe in hell.
Yeah,
that's a really weird thing. He goes, once you're done with your time here, you can go down to hell, which will be an upgrade.
Which will be nicer? What the fuck
like,
is that
he
all
literally
about?
says you'll be in hell, which will be nicer. I'm like, they believe in, like, is this like a biblical hell? Like, what is this? What kind? Is that just a generic hell? I don't know. I thought that was very strange.
We're trying to apply logic to something made by L. Ron Hubbard.
That is very fair. That is, yes, it makes no sense. Yeah, so they're sitting there at the bar getting drunk. And this is when John Travolta drops his first amazing moment.
He's got some great lines in this film.
And deliveries. And this one is something along the lines of,
I'm so wasted here. Like, being here is a waste of my talents.
Yeah.
I can assure you that I was not groomed since birth to have some cushy job.
And then he says, I should have been out conquering the world when you were too young to spell your name.
While you were still learning how to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
And the way he says, spell your name, is...
I will try to give it my best on this. While you were
Perfect.
While you were still trying to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies.
Yes. That is pretty good. I think you actually dialed it back a little bit from where he was, but yes, that was pretty close. Spell your name.
Spell your name.
It's just like, it's so over the top. You know what it reminds me of at times is if you've ever seen the movie Role Models. I don't know if you have. There's a character, they go LARPing, and there's a character who talks in like old-timey speak.
That Kim Jong.
No, well, he's in it, but there's a guy who's like their friend who always talks in like,
greetings, noblemen! Any friend of Blufkin's is a friend of Kuzik, fifth son of Laponius, Earl of Ringar. Oh, Diana has put her bosom away. Apollo has lifted his skirt.
Let us gingerly touch our tips and that sort of thing. And the way he enunciates reminds me of fucking John Travolta in this movie.
To spell your name!
Come, let us gingerly touch our tips.
I love their society makes like little to no.
No.
Okay.
No.
What's the value of a credit?
I don't know.
Why does a drink cost like?
That'll be 6 credits.
3 drinks cost 6 credit. Math. 6 credits, and then he's like, "Put it on my tab."
And he's like, "You don't have a tab?"
I do now. And then like, okay? Is there like no debt systems or?
Put it on my tab.
But you don't have a tab.
I do now.
I know. I was like, he's the head of security. If anybody's probably going to have a tab at this place, I think the guy who's like one of the highest ranking officials there would probably be able to have a tab at the bar.
In addition to that, would this not be owned by the corporation? Since
you would think like it would just be like, take it out of my account or what? You know what I mean? Like it would all be connected, and you would just like fucking I'm the chief of security. Just take it straight out of my account from the corp. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Let's jump ahead to Forrest Whitaker finding after like an earthquake happened.
Forrest Whitaker in this movie looks like Worf's disappointing son went through a rebellious phase in high school and never got over it.
You see, they are insane.
It's pretty crazy.
That's what he looks like. He looks ridiculous. They all look ridiculous, but. And the clothes, that's the thing, I gotta talk about the clothes. The clothes, the aliens' costumes in this movie.
I mean, it makes sense that they're like corporate issued or something like that. But
what's up with all the leather and cod pieces and fucking...
They're advanced aliens, Brian.
They look like they're about to go fucking dance under an overpass with a bunch of fucking cyber goths. Like, it's the most ridiculous. Like, they look ridiculous.
They're straight out of, like, Guard.
Yeah, it's so dumb. I'm like, what? This is what we went with for our alien design? Okay.
Forrest Whitaker, after a earthquake happens, there's a vein of gold that's opened up in Colorado. So he was going to report this after John Travolta has been reassigned, because that's what they thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
And John Travolta goes off on him like a fucking madman.
Yeah, he's like, how fucking dare you?
If you're going to lie to me, at least have the decency to do a credible job, so I don't look like a complete idiot for having tried to train you.
And nobody knows about this, so they're like, hey, what if we secretly get this gold? What if we do that plan?
Yeah.
And so they come up with the great idea of training a human.
Yeah, humans, but yes, a human. Like getting a bunch of humans to mine it for them, like off the record, so that they don't have to get in trouble, but then have the humans do it.
Barry Pepper has proven himself resourceful in the eyes of John Travolta, so he pulls him aside and hooks him up to the greatest hooked on phonics I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's the I know kung fu thing from the Matrix. It just beams knowledge into his head. The weird thing about that is that he tells him, I'm going to teach you to speak our language.
Yes.
Please forgive my pretension as I try to educate you in Cyclo.
But what it does is makes him into a super genius. Like, it doesn't teach him the language. He comes out and starts doing calculus and shit on the floor. And like advanced engineering, and then he's trying to explain it to all the other cavemen. He's like, no, look at this triangle. Look at this triangle. It's got equal sides and they're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
This is mathematics. This is the unifying language of the entire universe, Nick.
You're what? And he's like doing all this, and I'm like, but that's not what you said it would do. You didn't see okay. Why don't you use that stupid beam on yourselves, aliens? Because this guy's like way smarter than all of them.
The fucking little alien that's not a cyclo that introduces itself to teach him.
Oh, that poor sad little teacher.
Excuse me, but I am your instructor, if you will forgive such arrogance.
I wrote this teacher. I can't handle this teacher's voice. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Our sad, pathetic species was defeated by our master silos.
It was kind of funny. It was just like,
I am but a lowly Klingo language slave. As you are listening to me, I most likely do not exist.
Oh, I want to talk about real quick though. In the scene with Forrest Whitaker, with the gold thing, it looked to me like I have a feeling where, like, because he threatens to shoot him. John Travolta, like, I could kill you.
What is worthless? You said so yourself.
But you didn't know it was worthless. Ah!
And I have a feeling in Forrest Whitaker's mind, they probably filmed that. It was one of the first scenes they filmed. He's probably sitting there like, please kill me. Please go off script, John Travolta, and shoot my character so I don't have to be in this movie anymore.
Well, he uses that scene to basically blackmail.
Yeah, and it introduces that he has a recording device that he can record his office or whatever.
But whenever they're doing that whole thing, and then they're like leaving a scene where they're monitoring the humans, John Travolta hits his head on this archway.
Yeah.
Fat ass, and let's go round them up. Ah! Crap, lousy ceiling. I thought I told you to get some man animals in here and fix it.
And then it cuts. Well, it doesn't cut because there's no cuts in this movie. There's dumb fucking door wipes like it's a fucking PowerPoint presentation. You're not Star Wars! You can't pretend to be Star Wars. The only movie that can do a fucking wipe like that is Star Wars, and even they're pushing it. But, because there's so many wipes in this movie, and it drove me insane every time I saw them. Like, you're not fucking Star Wars. Stop pretending you are. And I want to talk about this. In this movie, they call the humans man animals.
Man animals.
Man animals.
I guarantee on my fucking life that for a fair amount of the shooting, at least in pre-production, in the script, every time it said man animals, they actually had shortened it and it was manimals. But even they realized how fucking dumb that was at some point. We're like, we can't say manimals every time. But I guarantee that's what it originally was. I would bet my life if you go back and read, and then they're like, that sounds too much like that kid's yogurt.
I mean, where the fuck do we go from there?
And then we could get the goal.
What do you mean we? It's my plan.
So throughout a couple of scenes, it feels like a montage that's not a montage.
Yeah, it is a weird. It kind of drags. It's really the only part of this movie that dragged for me.
Barry Pepper's slowly learning the language, but he's not telling John Travolta's character that. So John Travolta needs to come up with some incentive, or as he says, which so many people say in this movie.
So we'll need something primitive for leverage.
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 We need to find leverage.
Leverage. That's like the big final fuck you line at the end of the movie too.
Leverage.
So he comes up with this great idea of we need to make them think they've escaped.
Yes.
But before we educate it on the learning machine, we'll take it to the mountains, along with a couple of the others. Let them think they've escaped.
How do they escape, Brian?
They're just on a mountain.
Literally the next scene, and they're on a fucking mountain.
They're on a mountain.
Yes.
And I'm like, how did you make them think they escaped? Did you just drop them off there? I'm like, bye. I'm like, what? How did they're just on a mountain? And because he's like, oh, they'll get hungry. Oh, they'll celebrate escaping by going and eating their favorite food.
Precisely. Now that the man animals feel that they have a safe enough distance from us, soon they'll find their favorite food and celebrate.
And the only thing they can find is rat.
Food.
Because they're in the middle of like this blown out, bombed out place, and there's no living life. There's just some rats, and so the guy's starving, and because they said it had been a couple days already that they were running around. They had been 3 days without eating. Yes. And so they see a rat, and he grabs it, kills it, and starts fucking eating it, and they're like, it's their favorite food.
The glee on his face in finding out that it's rats is their favorite food.
That's their favorite food.
Of course it is. They could have selected anything they wanted. We're really going to have leverage over them now.
It's fucking amazing.
It's how stupid can you pretend that you're these aliens from another galaxy that can teleport shit are? That's how they think the society works? That they just the first food they eat is their favorite after they haven't eaten for 3 days? What? It's so fucking dumb that it's hard to comprehend, and that's not even the dumbest thing in this movie. There's a point, I'm not gonna talk about it yet. There's a point where we hit in this movie where I was like, even if the rest of this movie had been brilliant, once this one thing happens, The rest of this movie could have been Citizen Kane, and this movie would still be worthy of the 2% it's got on fucking Rotten Tomatoes because of the shit that happens in the third act of this movie. Whew. Sorry, let's get back to where...
They're on the run now because now that John Travolta's figured out what his favorite food is, he needs to get him back so he can bribe him.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he's getting ready to jump into like these crazy
There's like a
rapids.
ravine with a river, and he's like, well, we're trapped. I got to jump into the river. And the guy's like, no! And he's like going to jump, and right as he goes to jump, Travolta's ship flies up, and the just fucking worst CG composite of Barry Pepper in front of I'm like, I know it was 2000, but good Christ, guys, this is not hard stuff you're doing here. Given the budget of this film, this should look better than this. This is the one where he recaptures them, and then he finally realizes he understands them.
Yes,
because he's like, you, and it's like,
you understand? You understand me?
Tripping out, and it's like, you understand me? Like, it's doing this weird trippy thing as he's like trying to talk to him.
Are you hungry, little fella? Yes?
Oh, there's a quick cut back to his village, and we see his horse run back to the village so that his girlfriend's like, oh, he is alive because his horse came back without him?
What? That would imply the opposite.
Yeah, and then so she gets on the horse and rides out to go find him. And that's just so we know, so we can get her heading towards him. Or that sets up a later thing. So then he comes, Travolta's in there like interrogating her, talking to her, I don't even know. And he's trying to get him to eat because he won't eat.
He's trying to bribe him now.
Yes, he's trying to bribe him.
You learn things, yes. I'll give you good stuff.
Yes.
And so he puts him back into the machine, and basically he's like, don't you want dinner?
Do you want lunch?
Do you not want lunch? Is how he says.
Ramming a fucking mouse down his throat.
A rat into his, do you not want lunch? That's how he delivers it too. Do you not want lunch?
Do you want lunch?
It's so bonkers. It's so bonkers. It's amazing. And then so, I guess I don't remember how it works, but they go out to finally start mining or doing some mining training, and they're out in like a remote location. And this is when he starts shooting off cow legs. Because he's like, if any of you fuckers run, I'm the best shot in the West.
He shoots off a cow's leg. And he starts going crazy.
The first shot, they only show one shot of him shooting a cow, like, and then they just show him like, pew, 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 pew. But the first shot, he shoots it. I cannot stress enough how ridiculous this is. I laughed out loud so hard. He shoots it, and the cow's standing there, and then its leg disappears and goes whoomp.
That scene is made even better because there's a line where John Travolta says to everybody, but he doesn't know the man's language. He doesn't know English, basically.
Yeah.
And where he says,
and if any of you get any bright ideas about escaping, just keep in mind that although you know nothing about firearms, I certainly do. I graduated top marksman in my class, and I can kill any one of you at over 1,000 paces. Tell them what I've said.
And then he goes to Barry Pepper, he's like, tell them what I just said.
If we try to run, he'll kill us.
That's it.
If we try to run, he'll kill us.
Yeah, and he goes, that's it. That was actually kind of good.
What the fuck?
I like that. But yeah, so he shoots the fucking cow's legs off. And then somebody, and then a tribe comes out of the woods and like attacks him and gets him on the ground, and Barry steals his gun.
He's about ready to blow him away.
Yeah, and then they like decides, he's like, no, wait, we gotta use him. We gotta work together to...
They need to get leverage.
Damn right, rat brain. That's the first intelligent thing you've said yet.
Yeah, or whatever. And so then they're like, okay, we'll work together. But right after that, they gotta constantly keep escalating this, because then turns around and what's his name walks off the ship with his girlfriend randomly. John Travolta's like, okay, and to make sure that you fucking do what I want you to do, here's your girlfriend with a bomb around her neck.
I love how he has to show them that he means business, and he kills that one dude's brother.
Yeah, he's like, like, oh, and I love that he does the fucking, like, most cliche bullshit where he's like, all right, I won't kill him.
I will grant you this one request. I won't kill him.
And then he hands it to Forrest Whitaker, and he's like, what? I said I wouldn't kill him.
As I said, I won't kill him.
Pleasure. But he will.
He will. I'm like, fuck you, movie.
You don't know her?
No.
There's a line when he first sees his girlfriend. I don't know if this was a joke that I missed, like, for reference from earlier. He sees her, and he's trying to pretend he doesn't know her. He's like, I don't know who that is. And he goes, in fact, that's one of the ugliest women I've ever seen.
In fact, she's one of the foulest looking females I've ever seen.
And I'm like, why would you say that? What added benefit does that have to convincing John Travolta that... But John Travolta's like, no, fuck you, I know you know her. But it's just like, that's such a weird... He's like, in fact, she's fucking hideous.
In fact, she's one of the foulest looking females I've ever seen.
I totally forgot this part. Right before that happens, John Travolta needs to crush Barry Pepper's spirit by taking him to some sort of, like, American Museum of History.
Oh, yeah.
In Colorado. He flies him there, and he's like, look at all these books. Look at all this stuff. Yeah. They put up a measly 9-minute fight against us. Yeah. And look what everything's been reduced to. Yeah. He gets out a Declaration of Independence and starts reading it.
It's like, oh, look, this is interesting. There's also, I love there's a scene where John Travolta is talking to the old flubby neck guy. I don't know his name.
Yes.
And he says, and there's like, it's literally just, he says like, he gives him some blank forms and is like, you're gonna sign these, and they're basic because he's the flubby neck guy is like the president or whatever.
They're blank checks, present tier or something.
Whatever.
Like
he's like the leader, and he goes, yeah, you're gonna sign these, and I'm gonna use them for whatever I want because I have a recording of you.
Unfortunately, the company requires me to vaporize you. But on the other hand,
cocaine. I think my favorite thing is that the bad guy, they're both bad guys, but the old white flubby guy is like literally just spells out what he's like. He literally says like,
You could put anything you wanted on them. You would run the entire planet. I would be nothing but a puppet.
But then you'll get everything, and I'll just be a puppet. Audience, do you get what's going on here, audience? Okay, I have to sign these forms, and then it's kind of confusing. I'm gonna sign these forms, and then he's gonna get all the power, but I'm still gonna technically be in power, but he's gonna be ruling it. You guys get what's going on? Okay, good. Back to the movie.
It's like how all movies are done nowadays, especially action movies, where they have to literally hit the pause button on the plot to inform the audience of what's happening.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was silly and so over the top. And right before that's a scene, I was random. I don't even know what it is. John Travolta's sitting there. They just needed some sex in the movie, I guess. Some slight sex appeal, where he's sitting
with a. Her credit is literally Cyclo. What are they called?
Cyclo.
Literally, her credit is Cyclo Babe.
Nice. Because he's just like, oh, check out this bitch. She's got other interesting talents.
She gets drunk with economical speed. And has other advantages.
And then there's like a really uncomfortable, gross, right as the scene is ending, she like flaps it out at his crotch and it's like, and I'm like, nah.
They go to the location where they're gonna mine gold, and Barry Pepper's like, "We're not gonna mine a fucking thing."
No,
because I know where all the gold is.
I could not believe this. I could not believe, and then he could.
Where's all the gold at, Brian?
Fort fucking Knox. I couldn't. I was like, "Are you serious, movie?" Okay, let's break this down. It's been 1,000 years since the aliens took over this planet. 1,000 years. And you would think, I don't know, these guys flying around spaceships, hell, fucking, what's his name's got a little thing that can sniff gold and tell that it's gold. He uses that later. You would think they probably have some scanners that can detect where gold is. that's how they figure out where the plots of gold are. In fact, that's how we figure out where the fucking plot of gold is. How would they miss a metric butt fuck ton of gold in a building? How would they not have detected that in 1,000 years?
Right, but I read about a place called Fort Knox where the gold has already been mined. Listen, there will be no mining.
But yeah, so he's like, we're gonna go, and then it becomes a heist movie. Not really.
The three. God, that'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome. Like, we gotta break into Fort Knox.
So Barry Pepper, Carlo, and one dude's brother. I think the guy's name is Mickey. Whatever, they're all going, and then this becomes a road. This becomes the greatest road scene ever, where he's looking at a map and he says, "We haven't gotten out of Colorado yet. We haven't crossed this line."
No, we're still in Colorado. What? That's impossible. No, don't watch me. We haven't crossed this line. I swear.
I don't see any lines.
I haven't seen the line. I have not seen any of the lines, and I'm like, oh, it's map humor. Great, great.
What? It's impossible. We couldn't have crossed all these lines without me seeing one.
Well, we did, okay?
The lines must have just faded over time.
And then there's a terrible shot. I don't know what we're talking about. They land in front of. They're not even going. They're going to Fort Hood right now.
They land in front of the Capitol building, right?
Yeah, in Washington, and it's awful. The frame, it lands, and you see it. It looks. I was blown away. This one frame, you got it. It doesn't even look. It looks like a kid scribbled it with crayon. Like, I don't even know what they were going for, but it's fucking terrible.
And then if they're in Washington, D.C., they way overshot Fort Knox.
Well, they weren't going to Fort Knox right now. What they're doing...
Oh, wait, because they're going to Fort Hood.
Fort Hood to get more weapons. Because they also decide at this point,
holy fucking
we're
shit.
not just gonna, like, blow up our captors. We're gonna blow up their whole planet.
We're gonna destroy their home planet before it happens. Their home planet. Their home planet. Of course, we're gonna need some extra supplies before we can do that.
They're going through Fort Hood. They find
This is when it gets off the rails fucking completely. I have so many issues with all of this.
They find a fucking line of Harrier jets.
And a working flight simulator. It is 1,000 years after the fall of humanity, and they find a functioning, powered flight simulator.
Why is there electricity going to this place? What the fuck?
That is never addressed. Not even a little bit.
Oh, God.
And so there's a scene where the tribe...
They get
one of the guys from the tribe that they met in the woods earlier, he kicks him in the fucking because the guy sees all the Harriers and he goes, flying spears.
Flying spears. I think there's a little more to it than that.
I think it's a little bit more complicated than that.
Oh, it's a lot fucking more complicated than that. It is infinitely more complicated than that. But he gets in the flight simulator. And Barry Pepper's like, how's it going in there, big guy? He's like,
fly this thing?
You're right. It's like breaking a horse.
You sure you can teach your men to fly this?
Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Piece of cake.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
No, piece of cake.
Fucking no! No! Holy shit, no! I could not believe the movie tried to just...
You're fucking cavemen!
I could not believe the movie tried to do that and just be like, yeah! Yay! No, these cavemen who literally wood spears and sticks. Now they'll just spend less than a week in a flight simulator that they don't even know how to use the flights. Have you ever even tried to play a flight simulator video game?
Yes.
I play video games. Flight simulator video games are like impossible. Let alone if you're a caveman in a real flight simulator. I was almost done.
He's gone. He's gone.
I could not handle that they expected the audience to be like, sure. It is the biggest ask that you could ever, the biggest suspension of disbelief ask that I have ever seen in a movie, period. Ever. I can't fathom a movie saying more of like a fuck you, you have to think this is possible. And there's no way you could possibly buy that these fucking cavemen are learning how to fly Harriers. You could take a guy We're gonna keep on this for a bit. You can take. How much time do we have? Good, lots of time. You can take a guy who every weekend goes and flies a fucking Cessna for fun and put him in the cockpit of a Harrier, and he wouldn't know his butt from his fucking dick. I didn't like. That's not a saying. There's no way.
Now.
But there is no way that you could plop a caveman in a Harrier jet. I don't understand what.
I just have this image of unfrozen caveman lawyer getting in like a Harrier jet.
It's just so ridiculous. It's what? That was the thing I was talking about earlier. Where I was like, there is one thing in this movie where I don't care if the rest of this movie was Citizen Kane. You can't have cavemen flying fighter jets in your movie.
If I pass out. God, I swear to God, I'm swollen.
Oh God, I couldn't. So the jets have fuel.
Hang on.
And armaments.
No, they have okay, they are armed. They have fucking fuel. They have GPS, satellite, everything, where they can figure out where the fuck they're going. What the fuck? What?
Literally.
There is such a suspense of disbelief.
That's what I said. This movie asks you to just completely.
They are flying from fucking DC to Colorado with no GPS.
No, they just go. Well, they're probably using the stars. They are cavemen. they're probably navigating via the sun and the stars. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't even remember what else happens in this movie. I don't even care. It's oh my God.
Cavemen flying Harrier jets.
That's it. That's all there is to say about this movie. Cavemen fly Harriers, jets. Fucking and well. They fly them well. At the end of the movie, they're like ace pilots. I would if you even want to bullshit me, let's give them a benefit of the doubt and say somehow they could power it up and fly it. They couldn't. They could not. Let's not give them that, because it takes like a bajillion switches to even figure out. Let's just grant all that. These guys are like hovering inside buildings and like performing advanced maneuvers. And it's like, okay, if they were flying one and they like kinda could fly it, but I don't.
This is what happens when a movie breaks both of us. This is fucking crazy. I don't even know anything anymore ever.
I don't know where the rest of this movie goes.
Where am I?
Barry Pepper looks like Matthew McConaughey's whiny younger brother who realized he'd never be as successful as Matt, and so he dropped out and decided to become a pottery teacher at a community college. That's what Barry Pepper.
That's about what happened.
That's what Barry Pepper looks like in this movie. Okay, let's get back on track.
Is my nose bleeding?
Yes.
Oh God. Is there a way back?
No.
Is there a way to get back on this?
I don't know where else it goes. It literally what happens is they start up they do their big mission. Like they start.
They're gonna. Okay, I'm gonna try to break this down as quick as I can. They're going to break the shield to get all the fucking deadly Earth oxygen into this place. They're going to get a teleporter to go to the Cyclo homeworld to blow it up with a nuclear fucking warhead.
Nuclear, Kyle.
Nuclear. Nuclear. Look at it. Nuclear.
There you go, nailed it.
The nuclear fucking warhead and blow it up.
Yeah.
And even then, they know they can't get rid of everybody, because then they're like, we have to.
That's not recording.
Are you fucking kidding me, Brian? And somebody get on there with the head of an ICBM and then ignite that motherfucker.
Yeah, because it'll burn up their atmosphere or whatever, basically, because their atmosphere rate.
Because some bullshit excuse.
Some nonsense.
So
before this all happens, though, there's a scene where Barry's talking to his girlfriend in like the in the jail. I just want to talk about it because it's this one moment. He gets the keys and he goes up to her and he says something like he's unlocking her thing and he takes her blow up thing off. And then he's like, he says to her, "Oh, we're gonna take back Earth for our children."
This is our destiny. It's freedom for all of us. For our children.
And then she says, "For our children?" with a question mark.
Children?
And it's like, is his next sentence going to be like, "Yes, I'm pregnant"? His next sentence.
Yes.
Because the way that exchange goes sounds like he was implying that it's like,
we're going to bone.
Well, yeah. But to me, it almost sounded like that conversation that characters
switched.
have in movies where it's switched, where the woman is like sneakily saying she's pregnant, where she's like, "We're going to have to secure the future for our children." And then the male character's like, "For our children?" And she's like, because it's like she's pregnant.
Yeah.
But he's the one who says that, and she goes, "For our children?" I'm like, wait, is he pregnant? I don't think he's pregnant.
Forrest Whitaker comes up with a plan to basically either blackmail John Travolta's character or just out him to the corporation.
Yeah.
And then he has like this hidden hollow disc or whatever the hell it is. And then he gives it to somebody for safekeeping. And John Travolta is like, you're really learning something from me.
You can't shoot me. I made a copy and gave it to someone for safekeeping. You are just too good of a teacher.
Let's see who we can figure this out. Was it one of the guards? Was it maybe a wench?
Oh, God, yeah, this scene.
Or maybe a friendly bartender.
A friendly bartender.
I mean, it could be anybody on this damn planet. It could be a mechanic. It could be a concubine. Well, hell, it could even be a friendly bartender.
He fucking pulls up a decapitated head.
Yep, of the bartender.
He shoots off Forrest Whitaker's hand.
I gotta talk about the guns in this movie. So the guns, they have two settings that I can tell. There's like a gun setting, and then the bottom is a stun. But it also, when they shoot people, the normal bullet part, the top part that's not the stun part, sometimes blasts things completely off.
Yeah.
But then other times you just shoot them with it and it's like a normal gun. And I didn't understand, because there's like times where they like shoot like a street sign and the street sign just disappears.
Yeah.
And like they shoot the leg of the cow and the leg's just gone. But then other times they shoot people in the chest and it's like they're not even...
It just knocks them
out.
out.
It just knocks them out. I'm like, what is this gun? I don't understand what this gun does or how it works. So then the real revelation, or the revolution, really gets started after he shoots off Forrest Whitaker's hand and they really start going at it. And like it starts, one of the first things is like Carlo or whatever pulls out a rocket launcher and shoots down.
He plants all the explosives and then there's like, oh shit, they found us.
Yeah, because a thing flies up and
so
he's like,
he just shoots,
pulls out a rocket launcher, shoots it, and blows up.
This fucking caveman
knows
knows how to
shoot a rocket launcher. And then they have this great thing. They're like, all right, now I need you to laugh for 30 straight seconds so one can sneak up behind you. Because he shoots it with the rocket launcher and he's like, yes, I did it. And the whole time he's laughing, like, like this spaceship comes up behind him, like, brrr.
And his salvation comes in the dumbest fucking way.
It's the fucking cavemen in fucking jets.
Flying those fuckers perfectly.
I just wrote, are you fucking kidding me? Absolutely not. This is not possible. This would not happen. It's completely it's so fucking dumb. And they come in and they just fly in and they
fly in patterns.
Yeah. They like flying in formation and fucking they shooting missiles and they shoot these guys out of the sky. And then but there's a scene where they're flying and then it's just like this is like 10 minutes of like jet fighter action. And there's one scene where one of the fighter pilots gets blown up and the guy's like, no! It's like the black fighter pilot gets blown up and somebody's like, no, and I was like, oh no, that guy died. I don't even know him.
Yeah, we don't know who this person is.
I don't know or care who that guy is. Why am I supposed to care? This is some guy.
The thing that maybe this is his most caveman moment. Munitions depleted. Does he know English to know what the fuck that means?
He knows what munitions mean. Even if you know English, the fact that you know what you mean. Well, fucking of course he does. They learned to fly these. What do you mean does he know what that word means? Who fucking cares if he knows what that word means? He learned to fly a fucking jet in a week in a flight simulator, and he's a caveman. It doesn't matter what. It could say fucking anything on there, and he would know what it meant. It could be like the time vortex manipulator's inverted, and he'd be like, I'll revert it. It's nonsense. This is when I wrote, cavemen fly fighter jets. That's a sentence that can honestly be used to describe this movie.
He runs out of ammo, and then he flies the jet into.
But he ejects, I think, because they show him ejecting, but they never show him coming
they don't
down.
Show that.
They just show he hit eject, and they're like, I get what it probably was. It got to the point where the budget, they were like, we can't film.
We're out of money.
We can't film him parachuting down. That's too expensive.
So Barry Pepper is getting.
He's in the ship. He's in a ship or something doing something.
No, he's getting the teleporter ready for Mickey.
Yes, that's what it is. And John Travolta clomps into the back of the room that he's in. He does not hear him. John Travolta switches off a switch on the wall.
Yeah.
And the guy still just ignores him. And I'm seeing him like, he's right behind you. And then he comes over and like fucking starts choking him or whatever.
So they get into like crazy combat. And John Travolta's just his character is so oblivious to everything.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just the species. Because there's a part when Forrest Whitaker's hand gets shot off.
Yeah.
His reaction to it's like, oh,
okay.
I'm missing a hand now.
Yeah.
Now, give me the original disc, then meet me at the teleportation.
But okay, so the thing we didn't, the only other thing we didn't set up right here is that what's his name blew up. Carlo blew up all the explosives that they thought would shatter, but it didn't. It cracked it.
Okay, it didn't. And then what's his solution to that?
He flies his spaceship into it. And it still doesn't.
It still doesn't do it. What's still in the back of his fucking thing?
A bazooka.
It's a bazooka and a bunch of explosives. You didn't use that beforehand?
Nope. And also because he crashes and the cockpit flies open and he's hanging there, but the bazooka didn't fall out. It's sitting right next to him and he picks it up. And I'm like, wait a second.
And then I was thinking like, why did you crash that in when you could have just landed this there, took out
the explosives out and then blown him up? No. So he blows it up, and it finally, and this is like the one good, interesting effects shot in the whole thing, all the glass, like, shattering all over the place. It's kind of cool, but then so that's...
We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Barry Pepper's he's got to stop John Travolta, because John Travolta is stopping him from using the teleporter. Or, I think, and then I think John Travolta was trying to redo the teleporter to get him out of there.
I literally have no idea.
It makes no fucking sense. Anyways, Barry Pepper jumps on the back, slaps the explosive on his arm, and then John Travolta throws him off.
Yeah, and he does not notice at all that this thing got clamped onto his arm. He just completely oblivious to it. Just no idea that this thing is on his arm, and he's like fighting with it on there. It's like, how oblivious to your... How is that even possible that you would not notice that?
He has the gun ready to kill him.
Yeah.
And then Barry Pepper's using his cunning to basically be like, you can kill me, but don't kill my woman.
Yeah.
And of course, John Travolta is the most ridiculous evil character ever, and he's like, oh, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me, rat brain. Now where is it?
Trust me, you don't want to do that.
Trust me, there's nothing I want more.
It blows off his own arm, which we don't see because of budgets,
I
guess.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with all the explosions in this film. They don't really exist.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't have any reaction. He's not like, oh, my arm's blowing off.
Yeah, he's just like, oh,
it's
that's too bad.
That sucks.
Yeah, and the thing that's fucking weird is that the movie feels the need. Again, the movie must think the audience is stupid. It shows a flashback of him taking the collar off of his girlfriend right before he puts it on Travolta, just to be like, oh, just in case you forgot where he got this from. It's from his girlfriend. Don't be confused. When he says this line about his girlfriend, and then he pulls out, that's what's going on, you stupid fucking audience members. It's like, we didn't need, that was 10 minutes ago in the movie. I remember that happened, and that he took that from her. What is it? I had to wonder, at the end of the movie, there's a whole bunch of, like a montage of glass shattering shots, and I have to wonder if that has some significance to Scientology or something. Like, does glass or something have, I don't know. But there's like, this movie has a real fetish for glass breaking, like in numerous occasions, and I wonder if that's like some thing within science, or like, I have no idea. It's a theme I noticed that I thought was really weird, like just breaking glass. I don't know.
They've won. I mean, there's a huge scene of everybody rejoicing, and
they never even resolve. Like, so he blows Travolta's arm off, and then it like cuts away, and then the next time we cut back, he's just. We don't see him until the very end of the movie, and it's like,
exactly
what happened? Like, it just. Yeah, and then there's the final thing is he goes and visits.
They have him in prison in Fort Knox. They imprison
him in Fort fucking Knox. And then there's like this dumb attempt at a twist at the final thing that's not a twist, and the movie's like, yeah, it's not. You're right. We're like. Fucking
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah. And John Travolta's like, oh, well, you didn't see this one coming, and Forrest Whitaker walks out with a gun and then just gives it to the guy and is like, no. And it's like, it was almost a twist ending, but even we got bored with it, and so we didn't do anything. It just ended. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Now John Travolta's just pissy with one arm in the cell.
And then it pulls out and does the fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark shot with all the gold in the background, like at the end of Raiders with all the crates. Anyway, so they pull out a shot like that, and it's like the most horribly composited shot of John Travolta.
That's clearly a CGI, like.
Well, I think it's a little green screen of him composited in another CGI, and it just looks awful. It looks fucking terrible. And then it pulls out in the movie, and it's like, congrats.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
Yeah, so that's it.
That's the film.
It's Battlefield Earth.
Holy shit.
It's something else.
This is a film that pushes the boundaries of what a studio will think an audience won't believe or will believe.
It's fucking mind-blowing that anybody thought this would work. That people would go to this movie and be on board with any of the stuff that's going on in this movie. It's just, I can't fathom how they thought, no, people will buy it. People will buy that. People will buy Cavemen flying jets. They won't have any problem with that. They'll be fine. They'll be like, no, it's no big deal. Just Cavemen, they train. Look, they were in a flight simulator for like a week, all right? They had plenty of time.
They don't even know English, Brian.
They had plenty of time to sit in a flight simulator and flip some switches for a week. They're fine. They can fly jets, of course. I really do. I cannot fathom how they thought that was going to go over well. Like, it's mind-blowing.
Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, is it good, bad? Is Battlefield Earth good, bad, or bad, bad?
I got to give it good, bad, because it's John Travolta's comically stupid enough to make it good, bad.
Yeah, I will. I was going to go with bad, bad before, I think, but I think I will say good, bad. But yeah, I think it is good, bad. It's not like the best ever, but oh god, the third act is... It melts your mind. You can't comprehend it. There's no logic even going into it. How could you think that people would watch that and not go, this is the dumbest fucking thing that I've ever seen? Literally, I can't think of a dumber idea in a movie than being like a bunch of cavemen. Literally like spears and furs cavemen find a bunch of harriers 1,000 years in the future and learn to fly them in a week. Learn to fly them at all, let alone in a week. I don't know. It's the most ridiculous single, like I said earlier, it's the single most ridiculous leap of just how did they think that would work? And it ruins the whole rest of an already terrible movie. Like, it completely blows. It's mind-blowing. I don't know. I have no other words for it. It's just, I can't fathom that they thought that would be a thing that worked. They're wrong.
Battlefield Earth.
So, we, Good, Bad, or Bad Bad, are on Patreon now.
Give us your money.
Selling out hard.
Give us your money.
Give us that money. No, but we are on Patreon as of a couple days ago. Right now, we only have a $2 per month support level, and basically that just gives you access to our Patreon feed and a weekly update on what we're working on, that sort of thing.
You know, our hopes, our dreams.
Yes.
You know,
all of our deepest desires. I'm
gonna have to charge more for that.
But we will be expanding the reward levels on that eventually. We just got to talk. We're still figuring out and kind of working out what we want to do with that. But right now, it's base level $2 if you want to support our show. Or you can completely tell us to go fuck off. And that's also acceptable. But if you want to support us, you can. The show will never cost money. We'll always make this for free. Mm-hmm. But if you want to donate to our lovely cause, so we can spend it on beers and hot wings. God, I'm done. So until next time, just keep watching movies, especially fucking whatever. What did we watch? Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, watch
the fucking cavemen flying fucking jets. That movie. Go watch that, or don't. I don't care. Fucking live your life. I am not your keeper. Let's talk about it. I don't run your life. I don't know why you're looking to me or him to tell you what to do.
I barely look to myself to tell me what to do.
Yeah, right. What? Don't live your own life. Be your own person. Don't listen to me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Whoa, hang on. We don't want to lose viewership here. No, you are desperate. You need us to run your life for you, all right? You are a completely worthless human being and need us to run your life. That's the end result.
I don't know where I'm even going anymore. Just keep watching movies and fuck off.
Please. Please keep watching us. Please. He went blues nose stuff. So Harrier jets.